You have to be here.
But he doesn't have to be here. Does he have to be here?
Mike's not here.
Mike's not
We
here.
had a mic.
Frank, Charlie, Harvey.
Steve's not here, but Mike?
Ready? Okay, Dave. Good evening, and welcome to the Waterboro Town of Waterboro's Planning Board meeting, November 18, 2009. This evening, we have one appointment, and it's a relocation of a structure in shoreline zoning, and the applicant isn't here yet, so we're going to skip to our minutes of previous meetings. We have two sets of minutes to review, the October 7th, 2009 minutes, and the November 4th and 9th, 2009 minutes. They're in your packets if you want to take a look at them.
Make a motion to accept the October 7th minutes.
Motion's made to
I'll
accept.
second that.
Any discussion on it? All in favor? Opposed? Abstained? So moved. October 7th meetings, minutes are accepted. November 4th and 9th minute, I was not here, so I will defer to Kurt to my right to take that into consideration.
Make a motion to accept the November 4th and 9th minutes.
I second that.
Is there any discussion? Hearing no discussion, all those in favor? Doug?
Well, I wasn't on the sidewalk, so I can't really, I was only at half the meeting,
Okay.
They abstain.
so I can't abstain, but I can't vote.
Yeah, I think you can vote. I think we went through this once before, because that's just a continuation of the meeting. It's like leaving early.
Oh.
All right.
401.
4 and 9th have been accepted. We do have a communication from the town administrator, Nancy Brian. Our budget is due December 18, 2009. I have that paperwork. Tina and I have talked, and we're going to put it on the agenda for December 7th to discuss it, or the 6th. Pardon?
December 2nd?
December 2nd, or the 16th, whichever you folks would prefer. Second?
Second works.
Okay.
Is there anything else on the agenda?
We will have that on the agenda for December 2nd.
On the agenda for December 2nd, I have a setback reduction for Steve Armstrong and Meadowbrook sketch plan.
Let's do it on the 16th then.
The other thing is with the 16th, this only gives you 2 days. if
Okay.
there's any-
Let's do it on the 2nd.
Okay,
We'll do it on the
thank
2nd.
you.
I'll come in and work with
Okay.
you go on it.
I'll make copies of that.
We'll come up with a preliminary budget. And I was just looking at it. I don't see a need to even touch it from last year, but we'll discuss that in a second.
Do you want to do the appointment?
Can we do the appointment without the applicant being here? I'm not real comfortable doing that, but if you guys want to look at it, then
What's that?
the appointment without the applicant being here, he should be here to represent himself or his client.
Patty sent an email, communication to us saying, the only thing we can discuss on it really is moving the camp.
Mhm.
Nothing about height restrictions. So, I mean, from the site walk, I mean, we looked at it. Behind the house is a septic system that doesn't need to be changed. It was just recently installed. He can't go to the sides at all. I don't think he's got a foot or two to go to the side.
Yeah,
So it's,
if that.
I think it's in the best
So
location.
it's just a matter of raising it less than
Yeah.
3
Yeah.
feet?
yeah.
Well, if you look at section 9.01 of our ordinance, it says that you can't move the building anyway. It says if you can't make it conforming, an existing non-conforming use of structure may not be physically moved to an alternative location where it will still be non-conforming.
So he can't move it in?
Relocations must be undertaken in a manner that conforms to the provisions of this ordinance. So our ordinance is not in agreement with the state regulation. The town can make its ordinances more restrictive than the state, which appears to me that this would be more restrictive than the state, okay?
And Section 7 says it, based on on relocation.
Under the shoreline zoning.
Do they want to move it?
No.
No.
I don't see what the issue is.
So there's no, it's just a moot point.
Right.
I'll make a motion that the camp remains in position as it is, and the foundation not to go up more than 3 feet.
3 feet.
The second that?
I would second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion on that? All in favor? Opposed? Doug was opposed. 1, 2, 3, 4 in favor, 1 opposed. Then we will send Mr. Bedard a letter to that effect. Thank you. Is there any old business anybody would like to discuss?
Yeah, one of these days, can we have Doug brought it up a couple times, we're going to have a workshop to start going over some of these points, things that we don't agree with the state, do agree with the state, things that need to be changed. It seems I'm too new. It seems like every meeting we have 1 or 2 that raise little flags. We need to have a soda and pizza workshop some night and just bang through a bunch of them and get the history of them and why, do we want to change them or not? It just seems silly to constantly say, hey, this is the point we got to address, let's address them. Or pick one, and, Doug's got it, he's always seems to have a good list. I mean, there must be 1 or 2 that would stick out, we've got experience over here. Let's just pick a couple of them and start knocking them out.
Well, I think we lost our opportunity. I was kind of discouraged with the meeting with the attorneys because
Absolutely.
that didn't go anywhere near like what it was presented to us that it was going to be. To myself, that was a wasted evening. I went to their formal presentation, which all planning board members and other town officials could have gone to, into Portland, and it was a much more in-depth review of the regulations than what we got here. That was laid out to us as being a meeting where they were going to come and discuss questions that we had on Waterboro's zoning ordinance, not the town of Waterboro regulations. And when they got here, they came with an agenda, and they roundaboutly answered a few questions, but we weren't allowed to ask questions about specific things in our zoning ordinances. I mean, there's a serious question on setbacks. Is setbacks for visual, or is setbacks for safety? What are setbacks for? Do underground obstacles, underground structures have to meet setback? Or is it only things above ground that have to meet setback? I've never gotten a clear answer on that.
Well, I guess, once again, I'll say that if we're gonna pick one, let's pick the 2 you just brought up. And let's find out, let's find out what we can do, what we can't do, what the board desires, and then we can check that off the list and go on to another one. Because I know I've only had, 4 meetings, I think you brought that one up twice.
Well, these are just different issues. When you
But we ought to
got gas
decide.
tanks out here in a gas station, do they have to meet setback if they're underground?
We
At
ought
one
to
time,
come
this
to the-
board tried to say that pavement was a structure and therefore had to meet setback. The state doesn't meet setbacks from your house when they take the land, and when you pave your own driveway, nobody could meet those requirements. So, I mean, there's numerous questions that get asked, and sometimes you wonder, is it You know, we have, it's the same thing with a 600-foot length on
That's
cul-de-sacs.
another one on the list. Why don't we just pick the first, you understand what I'm saying, though?
Yeah.
Just get together, have a workshop where we can address just that one. Maybe you can come in with some of the history of these things, we can sit down and decide how we want to go. And then just check it off the list, and then do the 600 foot, because that's come up at least 3 times.
Well, I think you should decide if you
Which
want to
one?
review, pick an ordinance to review rather than pick things out of different ordinances. 'cause
Start in order and work our way through it.
Yeah, start with the subdivision ordinance or the site plan ordinance, whatever.
We need to
An
pick
ordinance
sections. I
and
mean,
review.
just seems
you
like
can't
we
just
leave-
address setbacks, because setbacks in the shoreline zoning, go back to Doug's road, the
Yep.
tar is considered a structure in shoreline zoning. Period. That's a state definition. I mean, and that follows the state. So you need to
Okay.
pick sections that you want to work on. If you want to work on, let's say subdivisions, we can take a subdivision and do chapters in the subdivision and get through it,
Well, I'd like to see us start,
rather than do hodgepodge.
and if we end up addressing some of these issues as part of that section, that's okay. But
Well, I think
let's pick one.
if we pick an ordinance to do, if we get that, make changes to it, then it has to go to selectmen, it has to.
Okay.
All of that, so,
But if we don't, we'll
We get
constantly be
started,
doing
right,
this. So let's
right.
just pick one and do it. And after you've done a bunch of them, they're gonna be so tired of us that
just like.
they'll just say,
One-
okay,
one-
fine, and do it. Let's just pick one.
When do you want to do it? Let's do site plan. We seem to have a lot of issues and topics around site plan, the site plan process.
Site plan process.
Process for us. That's one of the things that we review. It's a-
Okay.
It's a section in our ordinance. It's called site plans.
I've got no place to hang my hat on. I'm too new.
No, I know, I'm just throwing that out, because
Let's
that's what,
just pick
that's
one
what
and
we
do
seem
it.
to hear
Yeah.
about Doug or somebody saying, well, if they're moving into this building, why do they need to do this if they've been there?
That's,
That-
okay,
that-
sure, fine.
That's a
What's going
site.
on?
Evidently not, they're in the building.
It's too far ahead, I don't have anything. I mean, we could say that on the 16th, we'll do
A workshop.
a workshop to do the first.
Pick one, go, that's fine.
You know,
It's the process.
the trigger on
Do you
site
want everybody
plans.
to get a copy of that ordinance and
Yep.
make changes and,
It's online.
Yep,
I just meant
Yep.
have a way to,
yeah, why don't we do start with the site plan review ordinance, since that's one of our purviews that we deal with on a regular basis. And probably, I don't want to say one of the easier ones, because I'm sure it's not going to be. But let's pick that one and
Pick
do,
one and
and
nail
do the 16th as a workshop, schedule it as a workshop and work on that ordinance and,
I'm sure that
See where
whatever
we
we
can go-
pick, it's
see where
gonna
we
be
can go
like
with it.
nailing Jello to a wall for the first couple till we get into.
yeah,
let's
because,
just
I
pick
mean,
one and do
the
it.
process is, any changes we have to go through, has to go through the process with the
Yep.
selectmen and everybody else. so-
do we want to have a meeting scheduled before the workshop, or is that that entire?
No, let's just
workshop?
do the entire day as
Okay.
a workshop.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, imagine the 16th is going to be a pretty slow time for construction.
I would imagine.
Now that you've said that.
Yeah.
Economy's
You know how
picking
that
up.
works.
Thanks, Kurt.
Yeah.
There's going to be like 600 applicants.
Yeah, this is it.
It's gonna be hard to do site plan until you correct your conditional uses.
I guess to me, that's, let's just get into it, and if that's what comes out of it, then that's what comes out of it. We gotta start somewhere.
Well, the two work so much hand in hand that, you know, there's so many things in site plan that are conditional uses.
You have a better feel, I'm sure you need to have a better feel than that than I do. I'm too new. That's why I guess to me, I'd like to start, if we're gonna do site plan, let's just do that and see what comes out of it. And we may walk up after that saying, okay, we need to address this and this. You're bringing pizza, right? Oh, you're not bringing pizza?
Do you still want to start at 7? Or do you
Yeah,
still want to
7.
start
Sure.
at 7? Okay.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? Any discussion? All in favor?